Perhaps you witnessed some of the theatrics surrounding Kavanaugh's confirmation this weekend. If you happen to turn on the news, you would have seen it. Leftists were losing their mind as usual. Nothing new about that. As we have seen, anytime there's a mob of people throwing a hissy fit, it is almost always a leftist mob. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it is almost always. If there's a riot, if there are people screaming in the street, if there are people burning down buildings, turning over cop cars, whatever it is, destruction of property, making a fool of themselves, it's almost always leftist. The one exception I can think of in recent history would be the one or two white nationalist rallies that we've seen. And really only just the one. There was really the one that was big and chaotic. So that's one exception. Aside from those, it's always leftist. But the one image that kind of stands out from this past weekend in terms of the protests, especially, is the image of the people. I don't know if you saw this, but there were people literally after Kavanaugh was officially confirmed, there are people literally clawing at the doors of the Supreme Court. It was like something out of The Walking Dead. You had these people screaming, just these guttural kind of unhuman sounding, demonically possessed screams while they were clawing at the doors of the Supreme Court. I mean, some of them were they were running into the door, trying to knock it over. Doors which, by the way, looked to be made of stone and probably weigh a couple tons apiece. But in their impotent rage, they thought they could break down the doors or claw them open. And to what end? I'm not sure. Do they think that the Supreme Court justices actually live inside the Supreme Court building? Is that what they think? Do they think that we keep them all there like cryogenically frozen and then we thaw them out for every session? I think that might actually be the case with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But generally, these people live in homes. So I don't know even if you could manage to claw open a stone door, I don't know what you think that would accomplish. I'm not sure, but it really is. We can laugh about it. We have to laugh about it, right? Because number one, it's hilarious. But number two, what else are you going to do? But as we're laughing, we have to recognize that this is real. I mean, these are real people who are behaving this way. And this is not uncommon anymore. We've gotten to the point where we can no longer say, oh, it's an aberration. It's just a few of them. This is very common. Anytime things don't go the way leftists want, whether it's an election, Supreme Court confirmation, a grand jury, a trial of a cop accused of shooting somebody, whatever it is, whatever item in the news they don't like, this is how they respond every time. It's not an exaggeration.